Hey! Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. Today we are talking about the tugboat guide, tips and tricks for this beautiful machine, how to find this bad boy, how to rate it, what it's good for, what it's not good for, how to create an airlock system to stop would-be pirates, and yes, even an unraidable base. Yes, as recording this, that is actually a thing right now. So we are going over PC Rust, also known as Steam Rust. And as far as consoles concerned, since this is brand new for the PC, we're not quite sure when this is going to come in. We'll let you know when Double 11 does prioritize that, as our year is pretty much locked up with content that we do know is coming in, both horses and custom servers. But on to the tugboats and where to find them. Alright, so it's going to make sense that they do spawn in the harbor, both harbors. So 2 per harbor, so 4 total. As far as degrading, melting down over time, like upkeep, I don't think that really happens. That might change in the future because there's really no way to cycle these unless people actually raid them. But just know that they do appear here, and that's the only place as of right now. Now, as far as bagging one of these guys and what you need for them, I would say make sure you bring at least 1,000 wood. I know that sounds crazy. 1,000 wood, 60 cloth, and if you can manage 200 low grade, because these things absolutely decimate low grade. And once you get on board, the first thing you want to do is get up to the captain's quarters here. And would it be quarters? I guess the bridge. So mount here, hold the action button, go to authorize, and if there's already been authorized, make sure you clear it, and then authorize yourself. Dump in the low grade here by holding action button one more time, dumping in the low grade, pop the engine, and start driving away. Yes, you can use your automatic run for this. The reason why you want to start going away from the harbor is you can't place anything when you're in those areas because it's a monument. And while you're doing this, start to craft your 3 wooden doors and 3 wooden locks. If you have something else, you can definitely go for that as far as sheet metal is concerned. But once you have those things, you can start to place them. Now, it's going to give you just a little bit of protection. I say lock off the captain's, I was going to say captain's quarters, lock off the bridge first. It gives you a little bit more control here in case you get worked. But then place your first sleeping bag here on the top and call it just that. Call it top. T-O-P. And then go downstairs, beep boop boop, and place another sleeping bag called bottom. Just so you kind of know, because sometimes you need to pop in and out. It's just really nice. Okay, so we're going to place a wooden door here and a lock. So it makes this so good as we can place so many different things. This is essentially now a base. And you can place deployables all over. There's definitely restrictions as far as what you can place here. You cannot place any electronics. You can place, the only electronic thing you could is the computer station itself. And yes, you can fly drones. You can also peek on oil rig. Yeah, let your imagination go wild. You can place furnaces on the interior. You can place a workbench, refrigerators, boxes, you name it. Anything deployable pretty much goes inside of here, as long as it's not electricity or industrial stuff. Okay, so let's move onward here. So you might be like, hey, that's great. So how do I get rated? How tough is this thing? So let's go ahead and show you how that works. So let me fly up here. We'll pop in, and we'll head over to our first setup. Let's go. Actually, we can probably just fly over. All right, let's do that. So you might be saying to yourself, hey, the best way to rate is always C4, right? Well, not necessarily. Yes, you can sync this with C4, and it's going to take you 8 C4 to be precise. Do so, but you'll notice as we start to wreck this bad boy, you'll start to see the health go down. What is that? 5, 6, 7, and then we'll wait on the last one. See how the health is going down right here? It is 3,000 health, but the reason why it costs so much C4 is I think they want to encourage you to raid the doors, not necessarily sink the boat. And the 8th one here will sink it. The best way to raid it is, again, to pop the doors, but check this out. I'm going to put on some goggles here. When it does go down, it will sink. But here's the thing. It's not completely over. This goes down, but it stays for at least an hour, possibly longer. So you can go inside here and pick up your loot. Your doors still work. Your boxes are still locked. They're still on the interior. You're good to go, man. So really, after they sink you, it's not over. Come back and get your loot. Let me turn on my headlamp. There we go. That's a little better. So you can go back inside. If you had doors, you can open it up, grab your loot. You're good to go. So mark on the map when you do get a sunk ship, and then just go after your stuff. There you go. And so you might be saying, okay, so if it's not C4, what's the most efficient way to do this? It is the submarine and torpedoes. It takes 12 torpedoes to sink a ship. But again, you might be saying, hey, it's super easy to raid, right? These the visibility is like super good on these, and they like scoot around. Well, with the update of the water, you can see that visibility has dropped considerably. So it's much harder to actually go and attack a boat or even see where you're going. And I'll show you here in a second. Let me pop up here. If you have torpedoes inside, it is going to take 12, and you really have to float on the surface like this to shoot the torpedoes. And then it has to strike. Here's the other thing too. When you're under the water, it's really hard to see where the boat is. Do you see what I mean? I have the light on. So really, you're at a huge disadvantage. And check this out. When I'm moving around, before we finish this off, let me go over here and take off my goggles so it makes a bit more sense. But when this is on, right, you saw a sonar system. Well, that's completely functional. Check it out. As long as somebody's inside of a submarine and it's actively on, like this, we're going to detach the camera and head back over, you can see the blip on the radar. So you have a huge advantage. Oops, sorry, we got a bit of waves here. You have a huge advantage to see where they're coming from. And if you just kind of dip, dodge, and weave, you're good to go. And you can also negate any attacks by having a little bit of wood and a little bit of metal fragments, and you can repair the boat. It's like nothing. I think it's 6 wood and 1 metal fragment for each tap. Yeah, that's crazy, right? So it's actually not bad. So a lot of times you want to board this thing, go all Pirates of the Caribbean, and start popping doors. Let me go ahead and pop this completely. And it's super hard. Like, if you're even submerged a little bit, it is difficult to hit this. Not gonna lie. So imagine if you're actually driving, you've got your automatic run on, you can actually get outside, you can start to repair the boats, you can dip and weave. But again, if you get sunk like this, it's not the end. It's not the end. You can always go back and recover your loot. All of your stuff is still on board. Let's see, I think I can put this on and I can show you one more time. Then we'll show you a cargo ship example. See, even though this is completely donezo, I can open this door still and grab whatever on the interior. And it lasts for at least an hour. I think it's longer than that, but anyways. So this is exceptional for things like cargo ship and oil rig. Oil rig is pretty obvious because you can use the computer station. But check this out. Let me see if I can get a nice sample going here. Where is my cargo ship? There it is. Now, it goes just a little bit faster than the cargo ship, so you really want to use this to intercept. But you've got mad protection with this thing. You can even have this thing run a little bit with the auto run, like move forward, and you can dismount and jump on top of the cargo ship and use your own boat for respawning purposes. And you can put a locker back there to have kits. You're good to go. Look, I've got these doors right here. And again, if you've got door skins that have holes in them, it's really good because you can see if somebody's outside or not. Look at this. We're pulling right up on this bad boy. Easy mode, dude. Best loot right here. And it won't wreck the boat as of recording this. Just go outside. Hit it, baby. Look at, we're running. We're good. I know I missed the jump, but still, you get the idea. We're completely protected. And if you keep running like this, eventually it will stop and then turn just like a rowboat. But you get the idea. Cargo ship, it's OP. Then you can pull up to things like oil rig, use that computer station to scout out what's going on. Heck, you can use a drone and fly it above and see what's going on beyond the camera range. And also, you can use it as a spawn point. Put yourself a locker down there to respawn. Make some of these barricades on the back to have a nice shooting back position. You're good, man. Okay, so moving on to bases and some other configurations. You probably want to use an airlock when you're doing this, and we'll show you how. Now, this isn't an end-all, be-all, but just having some airlock is going to give you that protection that you need to bounce back. So think about it. If it's only deployables, really what you want is to obstruct an area here where you can stand, and then have something that you can pick up over and over again that's enough to stop people from jumping, but also doesn't take away durability when you pick it up. And the most important thing inside of here is definitely to have a box and a bed on the interior. But think about it. If you're outside here and somebody's out here and they cap you and the door's open, they still can't get through. And then if you've got a box inside of here that's got weapons or a locker, you can respawn on your bed and then pick up your kit. Obviously, you want some protection here if you want to block all that business. But you can spawn back here and then shoot back. And when you want to leave, you can close the door. All you really need is a hammer. You can pick this up, And before you step outside, place another research table down to obstruct anybody walking through, and then open it back up. Boom, you've got an airlock. It's a makeshift airlock, but it works on your base, your mobile base. Now here's the other thing too. So with the addition of the water and all these other systems like the ferry terminals that are going to happen in the very near future, here's the thing. When there's different weather conditions happening, the water changes significantly. Here's the other thing. If I bring up the map, don't go too far out. There is now a kill barrier outside of here. And so when there's storms and stuff, I think it's to prevent people from doing this, from parking boats on the outside. But if you get too close, the water will start pushing it out past the barrier. And then if you spawn there, you're just going to instantly die and sometimes DC from the server. So you really want to be careful. If you're closer to the edge of the land, it does push you slowly in sometimes. So just keep that in mind. That's definitely a thing. I know there wasn't a kill barrier before, but there definitely is now. Now onward to our unraidable base. So check this out. You might be saying, hey, so I've got this base and stuff, so what possible places could I go that has a safety zone on the water? Well, it's dead ahead. It's the fishing village. And yes, it'll protect you completely. So using the same system we were talking about, if you have a pass-through airlock where people can't just rush in and grab stuff out of your boxes, you've got a great way to actually pass loot back and forth. And as soon as we pull up just like this, we're now in the safe zone, so nobody can raid this. As long as they don't break into the captain's, I was going to say captain's quarters, into the bridge here, they can't clear authorization, they can't do anything. You've got spawn points on the top that they can't wreck, because if they hit that, they're all going to get shot. Oh, did we not put a bag up here? Oh, it was the other boat that we sunk, wasn't it? It was. Well, just remember, you can't place things when you're here, but check it out. Not only can you use this as a helipad, by the way, once you have this in the safe zone, I actually have a better setup over here. Nobody can drive it as long as you have a door on the outside, but check it out, dude. Check it out. You can put things like a computer station on the back. Who's going to mess with it? Nobody. There's a turret there literally watching you. You've got a workbench. You've got a repair bench. And you're like, that's cool, but how do I get in and out and people not follow me in and grab all my loot? Well, check it out. An unraidable base. Well, first of all, it's in the fishing village, so it's unraidable. But here's how you pass loot. Everything has a lock on the interior, just like the airlock we built before. But here's the thing. You go in here, lean in, and just open the box. Nobody can smash the box because you're in the safe zone. And then if you want to go on the interior, you wreck yourself, spawn on your bed, pick up things like, I don't know, metal, raw metal, and some wood. Go over here to your furnaces that nobody can reach, load them up with wood and materials, and start cooking. Even if somebody gets inside that door, they can't do anything. They can't wreck the boxes. They can't reach anything on the interior. And then when you go on the outside again, you just wreck yourself and spawn on the top. Do I have a bag on top? I do. So there it is, the unraidable base as it stands right now, and the tugboat guide that's happening right now for PC Rust, and hopefully in the very near future we'll see things like the tugboat on the console version. But check out the meta furnace base on the end screen now if you like a nice furnace base that is completely protected and a nice grow operation built inside. And again, this is for all platforms. And we'll see you in the next live stream / video. Love you, bye!